Hasan clearly is like one of the biggest proponents of this. I would say he is the biggest proponent to a lot of the contention around.
Yeah, they're right, dude. I am anti-genocide, and my anti-genocide views can be easily used and abused by people who are deliberately trying to get me deplatformed for my anti-genocide views. Congratulations to every single party involved in the process. Like, I am against anti-Semitism. I have been firmly I am firmly against anti-Semitism for the past 10 years. And also, I happen to be anti-genocide. That second part is a bridge too far for a lot of people, a lot of organizations, a lot of institutions, and some cyber stalkers of mine that have been desperately trying to get me deplatformed over and over again for many, many years have found a cool little avenue to actually get some institutional backing, because there are a lot of organizations that still have some crumb of institutional clout and legitimacy, like the ADL, that will actually go after people for simply being anti-genocide. And that's it. That's the short and sweet of it. That is precisely what the fuck's going on here. And literally every single person is running off of things that they don't fully comprehend.
This drama is reaching a breaking point. So yesterday I covered Ethan Klein's video talking about Twitch, and I was talking about the adpocalypse that Twitch is experiencing and the updated terms of service that Twitch has. And we've gotten, since that video, we've gotten a little bit more coverage of the fallout of this adpocalypse. So what I'm going to do in this video today, I'm going to cover Ethan Klein's newest video where he is lambasting Ludwig. I haven't actually watched it yet, so I'll be finding it out with every one of you. Then we're going to talk about what has been the actual fallout of Twitch. Have we seen a real impact in advertising revenue for Twitch streamers? And then finally, we have a great new Hasan bad video from the Willy Mac show, which I cannot wait to get into.
Earlier this week, we got to view.
It's been promoted by the people in the H3 subreddit, so I'm going to check it out. 181k views. Hasan is the worst political streamer. Oh, it's a part one, so there's going to be multiple parts to it. So we have a lot of content to get into, so let's just start. I want to start off with Ethan Klein introducing his Ethan Klein video on the H3 podcast.
For the people that just, want to have fun here, not get too bummed out, understand that. And for the people that do want to get bummed out and be angry, then that's the Ethan Klein channel's for you. I'm just kidding. I don't think I think it's keep it fun and funny. And
well, you also posted an Ethan Klein video right after the Jake Paul fight last week.
I'm experimenting.
And it gave me quite a giggle.
Nice.
I must say.
Let me.
I was giggling watching.
Let me pull it up because it's short, and then you just maybe as a promotion, you guys can head on over there. But this is my fucking channel, and what I like about it is that nobody can complain. It's like y'all said, go do it on Ethan Klein. So when I'm out here talking shit on whoever the fuck I want, you don't get to complain.
It's your show.
It's my show, and I'll bitch if I want to.
It's your show.
So yeah, I made a video yesterday about Ludwig. Made a video about the adpocalypse on Twitch, and he did it without mentioning me, Hasan, or the Israel IP block or anything. It was like
wow, that's actually kind of impressive.
It was, yeah.
How long was the video?
It was like 17 minutes. It was like so fucking long.
I love how Ethan says, I'm going to make a video on my personal channel so that it doesn't bring up the drama on this podcast, and we won't have drama on the podcast. And then he immediately starts like bringing up the drama on his podcast.
So I thought it was kind of funny, and I did a video about that. But get on over there, guys. Come on, we're having so much fun. And it's not going to be just horrific videos. Like, I'm going to make some fun videos too. I'm actually going to start working with an editor and seeing if I can hit some kind of rhythm over here, where I can make like reaction videos. You know what I mean? Like, like this one here, guys. Aiden Ross sent me anthrax in the mail.
Okay.
You know?
Does he have any?
That's what we do over there. We have
Mike
fun.
Tyson video.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
I don't remember that happening.
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
For me, breaking news from my look. This guy.
No,
Fun
it made
experiment. I put more. Put some nice.
Hello.
Oh my God. Okay, here's the problem.
All right, whatever. Let's just get into the video. So, I mean, the main criticism that Ethan Klein has for Ludwig is that Ludwig doesn't mention Hasan, he doesn't mention Ethan Klein, and he...
Today's video is about
we'll just find it.
Ludwig, actually, who made a video called What is Happening to Twitch, in which he explains what is going on with the adpocalypse taking place on Twitch right now. In this video, he somehow didn't mention me, Hasan, Israel IP block, or anything. It's like he's so afraid of pissing off the cool kids that they're not going to let him sit at their table anymore. The stakes are a little higher, in my opinion, because by misrepresenting what happened, he doesn't help anyone. I mean, he helps Hasan. That's the only person he does, but he's sweeping this anti-Semitism issue right under the rug to the point where it's like, wow, you really don't care. You really do not care about this at all. So let's go ahead and watch a sliver.
Okay, so I don't know. Should I watch Ludwig's video or should I just watch Ethan Klein's video reacting to Ludwig? Let's just watch Ludwig's video. Scrubbing through this, it doesn't look like Ethan covers too much of his content, so let's just watch the actual video of Ludwig.
Very negative comments about.
So I covered this first part. This first part is Ludwig just explaining that streamers are actually losing revenue.
Decided, okay, I will
Let's
make
watch
one.
this.
And today, I should preface, we are going to basically be talking about 3 points around the Twitch adpocalypse. What is it? How did it happen? And what should happen next to fix it? That's really what I want to address today. And we should start with first ads on Twitch, because I'm old enough on Twitch that back in my day, Unk Status, I get it. It was cringe to run ads. People didn't do it. And it made sense. You know, people would already be paying your subscribers for your content. So why would you also be taxing people by making them watch ads? It was something you just didn't really do until Twitch made a bit of a change. They started to tell you how much money you would make if you were to run ads. And they also ran a program that subsidized that amount of money. So they basically say like, okay, well, this is how many viewers you have. If you were to run like 3, 6, 9 minutes of ads an hour, we could pay you like a couple $1,000s. And, you know, not only could we will guarantee pay you that amount of money, and you just do the deliverables and, you know, it all sort itself out. They're basically subsidizing people running ads. Now, they only ran this program for like a few months, but it worked. It created a culture where streamers now knew how much they would make if they ran ads, and it became a part of their lifestyle and overall income. And so now people run ads. And you should know this if you've ever tried to watch a subathon in the past couple of years, because those are basically ad farms, man. Live 732 hours in a month. That's 732 hours to run ads, baby. And thankful to the boys at FaZe for leaking their income. We know how much money you can make from ads alone. Now, I'm not sure. It's possible that Ron might have photoshopped this image a bit, little inspect element. But if we take it at face value, he says he earned $1.2 million during his subathon, and he only...
Okay, so pretty much Ludwig is talking about how advertising works on Twitch. So that's a fine part to start the video off with. So what? He spends 3.5 minutes talking about how advertising is set up on Twitch and how it works. That seems to make sense. Then he goes into that people actually lost revenue.
Or it is dropped. For some people, it's half. For some people, they're making 10, 20% of what they used to make. And the way ads worked on Twitch for a long time was a very simple calculation. What is your viewership? Okay, what is your ad density? How many ads are you running an hour? And where are your viewers from? Because advertisers view viewers differently depending on their location. That is it. That is the only factors that went in. And then however much money Twitch made from advertising, they would pay you out like a percentage portion, all right? You know, something like 30, 40, 50, some percent based off your deal of how much money they made from the advertisers. The issue is that only works if they have advertisers. And a lot of advertisers have pulled out, okay? They have pulled out and it has hit Twitch hard. All right, and I'll talk in a minute what my prediction is for what will happen to that advertising money. But first, we have to talk about why they pulled out.
Okay, so now he's saying that, now he's describing that advertisers have pulled out. Just one point, like, does he have evidence that advertisers have actually pulled out? Because streamers reporting a loss in revenue due to ads no longer playing on their videos is not necessarily advertisers pulling out, right? Maybe it's simply that the ads aren't playing on those videos because of a change in Twitch's advertisement policy. So you need another point of evidence to make the claim that advertisers actually are pulling out.
Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asman got banned off of Twitch. Because you see, Asman got banned after making some comments about Palestinian people, some very negative comments about Palestinian people. He got banned off of Twitch. And this sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asman for saying this thing about Palestinian people, but, you know, what about this person saying this thing about this people? And that happened a lot because this is an issue Twitch has been dealing with for years, which is inconsistency in their bans. All right, they have their code of conduct, their terms of service, whatever. They have to ban based off of that, and sometimes it's not upheld consistently. All right, and so this became, you can see October 16th is the day Asman got banned, a very common trend. All right, oh, you ban Asman? Well, what about when Frogan said this, you know, crazy thing about U.S. soldiers? All right, and Twitch got basically controversy after controversy after controversy. All right, and at first this was maybe just some like social media stuff, but then there was a concerted effort by people to go straight to the advertisers. All right, because Twitch wasn't buckling. They weren't like banning other people for their comments based off the social media blow up. They were just kind of holding fast. They banned Asman. They're like, okay, we're good now. Please leave us alone.
Okay, so interesting. He is talking about people brigading advertisers. And I disagree with his analysis that it's unequal usage of the ban gun that Twitch is doing, because Twitch has always had issues with content creators complaining that, oh, well, I only said this. Why am I getting a 3-week ban when this person said that? And it's just always been self-contained to Twitch. But the thing is, now with pretty much Israel getting involved and the ADL getting involved, it is getting way more attention than what Twitch is used to. And you also do have to look at guys like Destiny and Dan Saltman that have targeted harassment campaigns. Like they're gearing their communities up to run these harassment campaigns against Twitch and against certain content creators. So there is that added level to it too. And so you have huge voices like Asmongold, like Ethan Klein, getting attention on the anti-Semitism issue on Twitch. And then that's causing a lot of harassment being targeted towards Twitch, like Richie Torres, like the ADL, like people in Destiny's community sending emails to these advertisers. And that's what's actually causing this shift in Twitch, if there is a shift.
That did not work. They were not left alone. Not only were they not left alone, their advertisers were not left alone. And this is one of the other genesis I can see of advertisers now getting involved after the Asman ban. And here's a tweet that said, made a video of what you can do. It's a long video, so I'll just distill it. But basically, it was email the advertisers that Twitch worked with who were displayed prominently in sections that people view.
So this is Dan Can't Tweet. Made a video on what you should do right now. Absolutely fuck Twitch for making me do this. Cancel culture, cockfucks, and loser shit. I didn't ask to be the Adpocalypse foot soldier henchman. Everything has been tried. They don't care, so name and shame. It's all that's left. So, okay. And then very specifically, he's talking about anti-Semitism with this tweet that Dan Saltman made.
As like anti-Semitic and get them involved. Okay? He says, you know, fuck Twitch for making me do this cancel culture, cuckfucks, and loser shit, but that is exactly what happened. It was a attempt at creating an adpocalypse. Attempt, very successful. Now, Twitch tried to curb this. They tried to appease advertisers and also the Anti-Defamation League, who's getting involved. And they banned several Arab streamers following a Habibi rating panel that was at TwitchCon. And you can see the sponsors are in the background of this. This was going viral. I promise you, all of these sponsors got thousands of emails in their inbox after this. And it worked. Now, you might think to yourself, okay, well, Ludwig, this was like a month ago, right? We're November 16th now. Asman got banned October 16th. The banning of the people at the TwitchCon panel was October 21st. Well, how do you think ad deals work? It rolls over the next month. So the reason ad rates plummeted in November is because all those advertisers pulled out for the month of November. And there's no way in that 2-week period for Twitch to resell a bunch of ad slots to brand new advertisers, especially when brand new advertisers are going to see this blowing up on social media and not want to touch it with a 60-foot pole. You get me? All right. So there's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hasan is blaming Asmin Gold for the adpocalypse for teaming up with people who he says, and Asmin is
looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself. And probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time, if I had to guess. Now, what is Twitch doing about it? Twitch has done two main things. The first one is they're trying to have the most perfectly crafted, curated conduct policy to be able to catch all things that could offend anyone and make advertisers as happy as possible. And this is a very hard thing to do in an ever-changing world. Their latest change has been making the term Zionist along with a mean term now prohibited. Now that gets you banned off the website. The other thing they have done is they are now using tags as a way to demonetize creators. So, there's this thing on Twitch that people usually use as jokes called tags. So like Kai's tags are short and loud. Asmin's tags are bald. Okay. But some of the tags are very legitimate and well used, like the language tags. And some are now enforced, like the politics tag. And if you have a tag like politics or something maybe like sexual themes, well, then you're not going to be making money off ads. And we know that because here's a clip of someone talking about that who has those sexual theme tags.
So this month I play like 3 hours ad and I get 0.08 USD money from it.
She played 3 hours of ads and she made 8 cents. Okay, 8 cents total. Now, what's going to happen next? The ad money is going to come back. Maybe not to where it was before, at least not for a while, but we know this because this has happened before. If you remember, YouTube had an adpocalypse in 2017. A lot of people blame PewDiePie for it. I would argue that's a bit reductive. In the same way, it might be reductive to blame a single person for the adpocalypse on Twitch today. At that same time that PewDiePie had a video with a bunch of edgy jokes, there were also terrorist training videos found on YouTube that had advertisers on them. All right? But the thing is, it's not like if you go to YouTube, there isn't fucked up shit on there still. There's definitely still stuff that advertisers would not want to advertise on. I can look this shit up if I want. All right, you can look this up. If you look up nude yoga, there's some shit on there that advertisers do not want to be on. That is still available on YouTube. Because there should be a difference on what is available to watch on a platform and what advertisers want to be a part of on a platform. Not everything that's on a platform should just be stuff that advertisers want to see. We should not become Coco Melon TV on every single platform. In the same way that not everything on a platform should be only things advertisers don't want. Like, well, let's be frank, Kick. Okay, you don't want both of those realities. You need a mix. But to have a mix, you need a lever to be able to punish people accordingly. And what I mean by that is right now on Twitch, the biggest problem that I see is the only way they have to punish people, or the main way they've had to punish people.
So he talks about YouTube monetization programs and what the deal is with that.
Do I have some censored profanity or bots? Check my shit because I was wrong. Because every time I do it, I just say, yeah, I have some slight swearing, and sometimes I have a bit more swearing because I'm playing League with some degenerate.
Right, and how does he wrap
demonetization,
this up?
banning by upholding their code of conduct and their terms of service. They should continue to ban people when people are breaking it, but they're going to fuck up. They're going to miss, and they're missing way too much. At a certain point, you have to realize, hey man, hang up the fucking jersey. All right, we need a new solution because your ban solution isn't working. So anyway, that's the adpocalypse. The reason I say some of the money will return is because the way it worked on YouTube is the month after the adpocalypse that I believe happened in February, ad rates dropped by 70, 80% for some people, and then mellowed out to about, I think, a 30% reduction after a couple of months. So I expect at least by, well, maybe.
Yeah, and I agree with what Ludwig is saying here. If you just think about it, it's corporations, they don't like drama because that could lead to a short-term decrease in profits. But like everyone, corporations included, they eventually forget about the drama. The drama dies down. People didn't like what was it, Bud Light, where they had Dylan Mulvaney's face on the can. Kid Rock was shooting it up, but now like Blake Shelton is sponsored by Bud Light and he drinks it. Someone like that. So anyway, what's the point? The point is that corporations will shy away from drama and then just slowly come back. So of course, maybe there is a dip in advertising, but I don't think that that's going to be anything permanent. There's just too many eyes on Twitch right now for advertisers to stay away. Okay, so let's go back to this Ethan Klein video. And I made my list here. What was that Ludwig video about? Well, his first part was how Twitch ads work. Then he talked about the harassment campaign and why Twitch advertisers are, at least in theory, leaving from Twitch. Or he also did kind of talk about how, or he included evidence of streamers having a loss in ad revenue. Then he talked about Twitch's response, which was updating their terms of service and adding the tag system, which you can tag sensitive content like politics, like adult themes, and then advertisers have the choice whether they say, yeah, I'm comfortable advertising next to content like that, or they'll say that I don't want to be involved in that at all. And then Ludwig talks about what's next, and basically his advice, his theory is that advertisers will come back and Twitch essentially needs to adopt a more of the YouTube type system where it's not all or nothing, but it is a gradient of monetization, which I think is fine ultimately. So was the video from Ludwig super informative? He had some good points. He talked about the actual decrease. He talked about his experience on YouTube. He educated his audience on how ads actually work on Twitch. So it had some fine points. Like it was definitely worth watching. I don't think it gives you all of the information you need in a nutshell. He did kind of gloss over why the ADL is getting involved, why there's a harassment campaign, and that's fine. He has like 1 million subscribers. He doesn't want to get bogged down in these nitty gritty details. And it's like a 17-minute long video. You need hours to get into that. So let's start this Ethan video over again.
Today's video is about Ludwig, actually, who made a video called What is Happening to Twitch, in which he explains what is going on with the adpocalypse taking place on Twitch right now. In this video, he somehow didn't mention me, Hasan, Israel IP block, or anything. It's like he's so afraid of pissing off the cool kids that they're not going to let him sit at their table anymore. The stakes are a little higher, in my opinion, because...
I mean, it's so stupid. Ethan knows how much harassment he gets for talking about this issue from his side, which is basically shaming people that are pro-Palestinian. If you're not being the perfect advocate for Palestinians, if you're not like being the perfect victim, then Ethan will harass you essentially. The Yemeni teenager that Ethan accuses of being a Houthi terrorist, well, he made a post once saying that he's going to crucify all Zionists. So he must be a terrorist and he should be deplatformed and demonized throughout all of time and all of time and space. If Hasan will say that he doesn't have an issue with resistance groups that are fighting against Israel, then Ethan will say, oh, so you endorse every single thing that resistance group did. So again, Ethan is attacking pro-Palestinian voices for not being the perfect victim. That's what Ethan is doing. He knows how much harassment he's getting. He knows how much harassment Hasan is getting for talking about Zionists and the genocide that's happening. He knows how much harassment guys like Philip DeFranco are getting, who's just covering this. And I don't think you can really blame Ludwig for kind of sidestepping the whole issue and he's still talking about the adpocalypse that's happening on Twitch without getting into the reasons why Dan Saltman is creating a harassment campaign, why the ADL is leaning on Twitch and again doing a harassment campaign on Twitch. He's saying that the harassment campaign is happening without explaining why. And of course you would want to know why for a truly informative video, but that's not the kind of content Ludwig does. It's simply a pretty surface level.
Because by misrepresenting what happened, he doesn't help anyone. I mean, he helps Hasan. That's the only person he does, but he's sweeping this.
He doesn't help Hasan in doing that. He's not... Ethan is he's not analyzing this correctly. Ludwig not talking about this issue is Ludwig helping himself. It has nothing to do with Hasan. If Ludwig would say, yeah, the ADL is attacking Twitch because of anti-Semitism, or at least perceived anti-Semitism, how would that be hurting Hasan in any way? Like, Ludwig could have just added that extra part, but he's pretty much chose not to because he wanted to keep his hands clean from this issue. And also, it is kind of irrelevant. He was talking more about the ads, explaining how the ads function, how content creators use ads as part of the revenue, and his prediction for when the ads are going to come back and in what form, which honestly is more relevant and more informative than all of the stuff that Ethan's been doing. It gives Ludwig's content viewers a more accurate picture of what's happening than whatever the hell this is.
This anti-Semitism issue right under the rug to the point where it's like, wow, you really don't care. You really do not care about this at all. So let's go ahead and watch a sliver of this mogul Mel and see what's going on with Ludwig.
First, we have to talk about why they pulled out. Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asman got banned off of Twitch. Because you see, Asman got banned after making some comments about Palestinian people, some very negative comments about Palestinian people. He got banned off of Twitch. And this sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asman for saying this thing about Palestinian people, but, you know, what about this person saying this thing about this people? And that...
What? This person saying this about these people? Did you just yada, yada, yada the whole anti-Semitism thing to protect your friend Hasan? How about having a Houthi militant on Twitch mainstream?
Oh no, he's not the perfect victim. Oh no, there's a 19-year-old child that is walking around with a gun, and that's just too much for Ethan. Bro, the fact that Ethan's still on about this is, I don't know whether I should laugh or be embarrassed for him. It's a nothing talking point. And again, what Ludwig is saying is dumb. People aren't calling for the banning of Hasan because Asmongold got banned, and they're saying, well, that's not fair. Asmongold said that Palestinians are from an inferior culture. Hasan's been criticizing Israel's fascist ideology. Why isn't Hasan banned? That's not fair. I mean, also, okay. So yeah, people are attacking Hasan. It has nothing to do with Asmongold. And then the other thing is Ethan said, "Oh, did you just yada 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 the anti-Semitism coming from Twitch?" And he says that Ludwig's doing that to defend Hasan. Again, Hasan hasn't done anything anti-Semitic, because if he did, Ethan would have better examples than he interviewed a Yemeni teenager. Still can't believe that he's still bringing that up. Yeah, and if Ethan's going to talk about like Frogan and her hateful comments against veterans, or their tier list that they made where Arabs were at the top and then people that love Sabra hummus were at the bottom, if he's going to talk about that, then Twitch did ban those people. So why would there be a harassment campaign due to unequal applications of the terms of service banning when Twitch did ban Frogan?
To talk about One Piece and to glaze up his fucking little Houthi cock.
Jesus, what the fuck? What the fuck? This is so gross, dude. Okay, man, Ethan needs... I know he said he wants to be making more of these videos, but he's even more unhinged when he's alone in his basement rather than surrounded by his podcast co-hosts.
Militant on Twitch mainstream to talk about One Piece and to glaze up his fucking little Houthi cock.
What
With
the
a flag flapping in the background that says, "A curse upon the Jews."
What the fuck? Wait a second. Hold on. Hasan. All right, let's see this. Hasan interviews. I still don't know this person's name.
So this is him.
Hot Houthi pirate
This is what I'm
becomes
talking
online
to. He said he
sensation. God,
followed
you're
you.
beautiful.
He needs to follow. He
gonna
needs to
look this
follow
up.
the other in Arabic in the chat. Tell him to follow the other account as well. The other account is.
All right, let's just play this.
Is that?
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, there's no the Houthi flag does have "curse upon the Jews" written in Arabic on it. And Hasan played a music video that had, like, it was a music video from Yemen. There was a clip in it where it had the Houthi flag. And that's Ethan's entire argument against Hasan. That's Ethan's reason to get Hasan banned. That in one stream that Hasan did, he had a Houthi flag, which like a sixth of it says "curse upon the Jews" in Arabic. It was extremely pixelated, and it was on screen for like one frame of the music video. It was never addressed. It wasn't featured prominently. It was in the background of B footage during the music video. And that is the criticism that Ethan has. All right, I'm just going to play a little bit of this while I look up this kid's name. I feel like Ethan talks about him enough that we should actually know his name.
Dude, I'm at a loss, basically. This guy doesn't know your politics. We forgot. I know, exactly.
مش عارف إيش يحكي لك هو.
So does he? I mean, I don't know if he can answer this or not, but like, so as far as the Ansar Allah militancy goes, like as far as the standing military goes, like I don't know if he is allowed to speak on this. I don't know if he's like actually a part of the groups at all, or just like simply a TikToker. You know what I mean? I don't know how to ask that in the best way possible, though.
Yeah, I feel like you can ask it pretty directly.
Okay.
راشد حسن بدي يسألك أنت يعني منضم لأي من المجموعات يعني أنت بتعتبر حالك من أنصار الله ولا بتعتبر حالك بس يعني شخصية على التيك توك ولا يعني بده يعرف شو الرابط بينك وبين أنصار الله.
طيب يعني بقول لك يعني أنا يمني يعني كيمني يعني أنا واقف إلى جانب فلسطين.
His answer is he's a Yemeni who stands with Palestine.
Okay. What led him to go?
So anyway, Hasan asks if this kid is a Houthi militant. He says, "I'm a Yemeni that stands with Palestine." Let's just take a look at this Vice article, because man, I guess it's relevant. We're bringing this up because Ethan Klein insists on bringing it up over and over again. So what do we have here? Everything we know about Tim Houthi Chalamet, the Yemeni influencer celebrating Red Sea ship raids. So how did he get big? On January 15th, a user on X reposted a TikTok of a young man sailing around the Galaxy Leader, a cargo ship seized by Yemen's militant Houthis last year. Yemeni pirates posting casual TikToks while the entire Western Imperial Corps are having a meltdown about their blockade on their ships is the funniest shit of 2024, surely, the user wrote in a caption. As of this writing, the video has been viewed more than 13 million times, with social media influencers dubbing the handsome man Tim Houthi Chalamet. The video was filmed by a Yemeni influencer who calls himself Rashid Al-Haddad online, and there's no clear evidence that he actually participated in the raid that captured Galaxy Leader, but he does look good when posing next to the ship. Al-Haddad, who frequently posts photos of himself wearing warfighting gear and carrying weapons on social media, appears to be part of a new online trend where influencers post content to promote their side of a given conflict. So yeah, what does he have So in some of the photos, he's wearing military-style garb and carrying an AK-47. He also frequently posts messages of support for Palestine. Houthi militants, frequently referred to as pirates in the West. Oh wait, Houthi militants are striking at Western ships in retaliation for their military support of Israel's ongoing siege in Gaza. But many of the videos on his Instagram reels are self-made fan cams where still photos of him in fashionable dress cycle over electronic music. Okay, that's hilarious. He's just like, yeah, I'm not above just posting myself in my good fits. So yeah, there's no proof that he participated in capturing the Galaxy leader. Okay, this article sucks. This really has no good information. This is everything we know about this kid. Wow, that's not very informative. Okay. Anyway, yeah, there's no evidence that he is a militant. I mean, Ethan Klein says that he has a gun, but Yemen has the second highest gun ownership per capita behind the USA. So I don't think it's insane to think that he would have a gun. Also, why is Ethan just lying? He's saying that the kid had the Houthi flag flying in the background during his interview. What the hell is he talking about? Like, at this point, he is just delusional. He's making stuff up. But the issue is he's like a delusional man in his basement yelling into a camera that hundreds of thousands of people are listening to. Like, Gila needs to unplug the camera that Ethan's... Like, Gila needs to, I don't know, either unplug the camera as Ethan's yelling into it, or have a YouTube channel for Ethan that's unlisted and just fake all of the views, because this is really bad.
Ludwig.
I'm going to just rewind this.
How about having a Houthi militant on Twitch mainstream to talk about One Piece and to glaze up his fucking little Houthi cock with a flag flapping in the background that says, "A curse upon the Jews"? Ludwig, why did you even bother to make this video? You know what I mean? Just, you don't have to talk about it if you're too cowardly to explain it, really.
Because this is an issue Twitch has been dealing with for years, which is inconsistency in their bans. All right, they have their code of conduct, their terms of service, whatever. They have to ban based off of that, and sometimes it's not upheld consistently. All right, and so this became, you can see October 16th, the day Asman got banned, a very common trend. All right, oh, you ban Asman? Well, what about when Frogan said this, crazy thing about U.S. soldiers? All right, and Twitch got basically controversy after controversy after controversy.
No mention of Hasan. Or me, frankly. Not to suck my own dick here, but I did a whole 3-hour episode dedicated in, meticulous 14 pages of meticulous thesising about why I thought Hasan was harboring anti-Semitism and all the various examples of it. I thought that was probably a big moment for this all as well, but he doesn't mention any of that. How can he?
Bro, nothing you did was meticulous, Ethan. You're literally just grasping at any kind of clip you can find. If you were actually meticulous in your research and your dressing down of Hasan, you would have better points than he watched a Houthi music video and he interviewed Rashid Al-Haddad on his stream. You've now resorted to lying about that interview, saying that the teenager Hasan was interviewing had the Houthi flag in the background, and that Hasan was, I don't even want to repeat it, that was a pretty fucking gross joke that Ethan said there. I mean, he's just getting more and more unhinged.
Not mention Hasan. How?
And at first, this was maybe just some like social media stuff, but then there was a concerted effort by people to go straight to the advertisers, all right? Because Twitch wasn't buckling. They weren't like banning other people for their comments based off the social media blow up. They were just kind of holding fast. They banned Asman. They're like, okay, we're good now. Please leave us alone.
That's I think somewhat true, but I think the underlining problem here is that they agree with the creators who they're not banning. They agree with Hasan and with Frogan, and it's an ideological decision. Like, it's not an unbiased decision to enforce the rules. This is them refusing to further other political.
So when Ethan says that Twitch agrees with Frogan and Hasan, what he means is that the CEO of Twitch is anti-Semitic. That's what Ethan is saying right now. So, of course, an anti-Semitic person would like having anti-Semitic people on his platform. I mean, never mind that the terms of service changed in Twitch so that now it says that if you use Zionist as a dog whistle against Jews, you are going to get banned. Never mind the fact that they did ban Sneeko and Myron Gaines, who are both very openly anti-Semitic voices online. So yeah, we don't really have any evidence from Ethan that the creator is anti-Semitic. Like, what is the evidence that he's going to make? Again, it's going to be the Rashid Al-Haddad interview. It's going to be the Houthi music video that Hasan played on his stream. And it's going to be the fact that Twitch effectively stopped new people from signing up and making accounts in Israel and Palestine pretty much for a year. Those are the three things that Ethan has to say that this entire platform is anti-Semitic. And again, like, Ethan is so fixated on Hasan that he's so tunnel visioned on Hasan that he really can't remove himself from the situation and be like, okay, well, Ludwig's talking about advertisers in general on Twitch. Maybe it's not that all of the advertisers are leaving strictly because of Hasan, and because Hasan interviewed a teenager a year ago. Maybe it's not because of that interview that happened over a year ago at this point.
Political point of views and identities that they agree with. It's downright corruption. It's horrifically bad.
That did not work. They were not left alone. Not only were they not left alone, their advertisers were not left alone. And this is one of the other genesis I can see of advertisers now getting involved after the Asman ban. And here's a tweet that said, made a video of what you can do. It's a long video, so I'll just distill it. But basically, it was email the advertisers that Twitch worked with who were displayed prominently in sections that people viewed as like anti-Semitic, and get them involved. Okay? He says, you know, fuck Twitch for making me do this cancel culture, cuck fucks and blueser shit, but that is exactly what happened. It was a attempt at creating an adpocalypse.
It's not an attempt to create an adpocalypse. It's an attempt to hold certain people accountable when the platform downright refuses to and runs ads.
Okay, so I'll try to find the clip, but Dan Saltman essentially says that, yeah, he does want the CEO of Twitch to get fired. He doesn't actually care about anti-Semitism. Like, Dan Saltman will straight up say he doesn't care about anti-Semitism. Why would he care? And Ethan, I don't know. It's funny trying to see Ethan reckon with this fact.
To create an adpocalypse. It's an attempt to hold certain people accountable when the platform downright refuses to and runs ads on like incendiary, psychotic fucking content, right?
Adpocalypse. Attempt, very successful. Now, Twitch tried to curb this. They tried to appease advertisers and also the Anti-Defamation League, who's getting involved. And they banned several Arab streamers following a Habibi rating panel that was at TwitchCon. And you can see the sponsors are in the background of this. This was going viral. I promise you, all of these sponsors got thousands of emails in their inbox after this. And it worked.
This level of anti-Semitism is platformed on a main stage of TwitchCon in front of these sponsors. I mean, what the fuck do you expect, man? Don't blame the people sending emails. Blame fucking Dan Clancy and his team of morons that did nothing to shield their ecosystem from this, especially considering they had so much time to learn from what happened to YouTube. Pure incompetence. I was.
Oh my god, dude! Why are you like coughing into the camera if you're editing the video? It, like ends there. Okay. Okay, let's just go to this. This Habibi ratings panel at TwitchCon, and Ethan says this is just blind hatred towards Jews that's happening on a TwitchCon stream. The ADL issued a statement accusing one streamer of spreading anti-Semitic vitriol. Okay, I'm actually kind of interested in looking that up. I kind of want to see the ADL's
All of these
take on
sponsors
it.
got thousands of emails in their inbox after this, and it worked.
This level of anti-Semitism is platformed on a main stage of TwitchCon in front of these sponsors. I mean, what the fuck do you expect, man? Don't blame the people sending emails. Blame fucking Dan Clancy and his team of morons that did nothing to shield their ecosystem from this, especially considering they had so much time to learn from what happened to YouTube. Pure incompetence. I was, and others were raising the siren about this event and this segment, which I found offensive and anti-Semitic. And Twitch did nothing for several days as this got worse and worse and worse. Once again, Asmongold got banned immediately, rightfully, duly. However, when it comes to Frogan and her friends shitting on Jewish people, shitting on Zionists, right? They need a lot of time to think about it. And I think, yeah, like when the ADL got involved, that's only when they finally suspended Frogan and all the other people up on the stage. When a sitting congressman started writing letters, posting on Twitter, then they said, okay, we should probably do something. But
so there's currently in Twitch world a pit.
Bro, that's exactly what Ludwig is talking about. He's talking about that the ADL was getting involved. Richie Torres was getting involved. There's this targeted harassment campaign, and that's causing Twitch to potentially change their advertising policies. I think that for sure that's happened with the addition of the politics tag and the addition of like the adult content tag. So that's been changed. And I do think that pressure campaign did lead to the banning of Frogan, and it did lead to the update of the Zionist terms of service in Twitch. So I don't know what Ethan's mad about. I guess he's saying that Twitch should have enforced the rules already. And what I would argue is, yeah, they were enforcing the rules, and they broke their own rules by banning the people that were on that Twitch panel, because that Twitch panel was simply not, it was simply not a racist thing that they were doing. Was it edgy? Sure. If Twitch bans all edgy humor, then they're going to have no one left. It's just going to be like a turtle sitting there on stream, I guess.
This match, right? Hasan is blaming Asmongold for the adpocalypse for teaming up with people who he says, and Asmon is
looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time. If I had to guess.
Now, well, why do you have to guess? You're the guy reporting on what happened, right? Why we guessing, Ludwig? But certainly, Ludwig is making a lot of guesses in this video here. And I'm guessing that Hasan's cock must taste pretty good. Hasan, he doesn't use baby wipes. He just calls Ludwig over. Where are we? Anyway, Ludwig, cheers and all that. Appreciate you. But you don't have to make a video, right? Because at the end of the day, what does this do? It absolves the actual perpetrators of this adpocalypse. It moves the blame over to somebody who wasn't really involved. And by doing this, you ensure that no real change is actually going to come to this platform, right? And this is just going to keep happening because you are so cowardly. You need so desperately to have the cool kid.
Bro, what the fuck is going on with Ethan? Like, I think he's just having I don't know. I feel like this is the most we've seen Ethan just melting down on a video. He's blaming Ludwig's coverage of the ebbs and flows of advertising on Twitch for like indenturing anti-Semitism into the Twitch culture. So Ludwig saying that, oh, here's how ads work on Twitch. Let's see. Let's pull up that list that I made. Ludwig saying that here's how anti-Semitism, or here's how advertising works on Twitch. And here's evidence of advertisers leaving Twitch. It happened because of this harassment campaign. This is what Twitch responded, and this is what I think they should do next. That's allowing anti-Semitism to flourish because he straight up didn't call it out. I mean, at this point, I feel like Ethan's just admitting that he's not doing a good job explaining his point, and he just wants people to kind of do his work for him. I feel like Ethan feels like, I did enough, and now I just want to be able to push this ball and have it roll downhill by itself. I don't know, man. This is crazy. He's really melting down.
Blame over to somebody who wasn't really involved, and by doing this, you ensure that no real change is actually going to come to this platform, right? And this is
so by saying that Asmongold took credit for it, and by having, I mean, Ethan himself has said that Asmongold got banned immediately. Frogan took a while to get banned. So he's admitting that why would he bring up the example of Asmongold if he's not going to do the very thing that Ludwig was explaining happened, where people said that Asmongold left, why isn't Twitch banning these people for kind of, I mean, the same thing? They would argue. I would say it's not the same thing at all. But I don't know. I don't know where he's really coming up with this criticism. Basically, Ludwig made a video about Twitch, and Ludwig didn't say that Hasan is bad. Thus, Ethan Klein is going to piss his pants. And then this was the clip that I was talking about. I couldn't find it, but I did cover it in a previous video. So let's just watch this. Job that Destiny's community is doing to try to get Ethan all riled up about anti-Semitism and try to get Dan Clancy fired and Hasan banned off of Twitch. Ethan's a pretty dumb guy, I would say. I think that throughout covering all of this drama, he doesn't have the smartest comprehension skills, and then that a guy like that can be getting, oh my god, this guy takes forever to get to the clip, taken advantage of. And that's going to bring me to this post, and this is from Hasan's subreddit. So, to the surprise of absolutely no one, Destiny's attack on Twitch was never about anti-Semitism. Let's just play this.
I hated the last 2 weeks of my life basically to Steve's cause.
Destiny.
Which one? You're talking about the Twitch thing?
Yeah, destroying Twitch.
I thought that was more your thing than...
Why the fuck do I care about Twitch? I'm not banned there.
I thought you cared because they were anti-Semitic and being weird.
Nah, it's just fun.
Oh, okay. I care. I thought you cared, bro.
I mean, I care that I want to win. I care that it would be fucking awesome and funny if I won.
It would be awesome and funny.
It would be fucking hysterical if a company... Imagine if we trolled a CEO out of his job.
Okay, so Okay, so, oh my God. Yeah, so when Ethan is saying that this guy genuinely cares about combating anti-Semitism, that's just not true at all. He cares about getting Destiny unbanned from Twitch and revenge on Twitch. He thinks it would be hilarious if he trolls a CEO out of his job. And basically, this is the community that he's fostered, a very toxic, very petty, and I mean, they just want to see the world burn, right? And their leader is this guy that's going to shitpost his way to the top, get a congressman on board, get the ADL on board, bring all of this hate upon Twitch, and they'll just revel in it and piss and shit themselves as they giggle and roll around on the floor in just the exhilaration of being able to take down basically, I mean, it's a community of fucking losers, and they're like, wow, we can have a mark on the world if we do a fake email campaign against people. No respect. I have no respect for people like that.
But what you don't have to make a video, right? Because at the end of the day, what does this do? It absolves the actual perpetrators of this adpocalypse. It moves the blame over to...
I just want to find that one clip where he talks about Dan Saltman again, because that was pretty funny. Oh yeah, this part. I just want to create a hate
advertisers,
campaign.
Now getting involved after the Asman ban. And here's a tweet that said, made a video of what you can do. It's a long video, so I'll just distill it. But basically, it was email the advertisers that Twitch worked with who were displayed prominently in sections that people viewed as like anti-Semitic and get them involved. Okay? He says, you know, fuck Twitch for making me do this cancel culture, cuck fucks and loser shit, but that is exactly what happened. It was a attempt at creating an adpocalypse.
It's not an attempt to create an adpocalypse. It's an attempt to hold certain people accountable when the platform downright refuses to and runs ads on like incendiary, psychotic fucking content, right?
Adpocalypse. Attempt.
No, it was to try to create an adpocalypse. Wanted to make everyone hurt.
Very successful.
All right, let's just get to the conclusion of this Ethan Klein video.
Appreciate you. Pretty good. Why we guessing, Ludwig?
If I had to guess.
Now, well, why do you have to guess? You're the guy reporting on what happened, right? Why we guessing, Ludwig? But certainly,
I mean, he's guessing about what's going to happen in the future. I don't. Okay, whatever.
Ludwig is making a lot of guesses in this video here. And I'm guessing that Hassan's cock must taste pretty good. Hassan, he doesn't use baby wipes. He just calls Ludwig over. Where are we?
Okay, so just once again, this is the second like fellatio joke that Ethan Klein has made in this 8-minute long video. I don't know, like... And you're going to say that he's not obsessed with Hasan, that he's genuinely trying to fight anti-Semitism. And then Ethan's getting so mad at Ludwig, not because Ludwig is defending Hasan, but because Ludwig covered the evolution of advertising on Twitch without addressing Hasan in his video. Like, he addressed the ADL, he addressed Dan Saltman. Both of those people are talking about, both of those people / groups are harassing Twitch because of the perceived anti-Semitism that's on that platform. So when Ethan says that you didn't discuss anti-Semitism at all, how is that true? Like, he literally brought up Dan Saltman and the ADL. The ADL's sole purpose is to combat anti-Semitism. Like, it might as well be called the ASL, the Anti-Semitism, Anti-Semitism
anyway,
League.
Ludwig,
AAL.
Cheers and all that. Appreciate you. But what you don't have to make a video, right? Because at the end of the day, what does this do? It absolves the actual perpetrators of this adpocalypse. It moves the blame over to...
Okay, well, Ethan was trying to absolve the perpetrators of the adpocalypse because again, the people that actually caused the apocalypse are the people like Richie Torres, like Dan Saltman, like Destiny, like Ethan Klein, like the ADL. It's people that are making a big fuss over pretty much nothing. Again, what does Ethan have? He has Hasan interviewing, what was his name, Rashid Al-Hadid, and playing a Houthi music video, when Ethan has done way worse stuff than that.
Somebody who wasn't really involved, and by doing this, you ensure that no real change is actually going to come to this place.
I mean, once again, Ludwig said it started with Asmongold, but then groups like the ADL and people like Dan Saltman caused harassment campaigns against Twitch, and that's what caused the actual change to happen. So, like, maybe Asmongold triggered these harassment campaigns. I don't think so. I think it emboldened them, potentially. It gave them more ammunition, but they were there before.
Platform, right? And this is just going to keep happening because you are so cowardly. You need so desperately to have the cool kid Hasan's approval that you are actually willing to throw the platform, and frankly, if I'm going to be a little over the top, your Jewish community under the bus as well, without mentioning even a tiny bit the main issue of this, which is anti-Semitism perpetrated by Hasan and his lemmings, his lackeys.
Oh my god, dude, that video was unhinged as hell. What the actual fuck? That was like,
Let's
Ethan kind of got scary
my...
there at the end.
Today,
damn, dude, that was crazy. So he's saying the main issue that caused all of this is Hasan's anti-Semitism. Say it with me, all. The only examples of anti-Semitism, the only examples Ethan can bring up is the Houthi kid, which again isn't even a Houthi, and the Houthi music video. Do you have more examples than that? He said he's cooking stuff up, but that was kind of creepy at the end there, dude. So he's saying that Ludwig making a video covering this is throwing Ludwig's Jewish community under the bus. Insane.
Which is anti-Semitism.
Like I at this point I can't even engage with what Ethan's saying other than just calling him crazy and unhinged and having a meltdown, because nothing he's saying is making any sense. He's saying that Ludwig is sucking Hasan's cock. He's saying that Ludwig is creating anti-Semitism by covering, like, he's saying Ludwig is creating anti-Semitism by saying that there were people calling for creators to be banned. He didn't say, like, did Ludwig say why Asmongold got banned? I'm actually kind of curious. And did he?
Have advertisers, and a lot of advertisers have pulled out. Okay, they have pulled out, and it has hit Twitch hard. All right, and I'll talk in a minute what my prediction is for what will happen to that advertising money. But first, let's talk about why they pulled out. Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asmon got banned off of Twitch. Because you see, Asmon got banned after making some comments about Palestinian people, some very negative comments about Palestinian people. He got banned off of Twitch. And this sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asmon. When Frogan said this, crazy thing about U.S. soldiers, all right? And Twitch got basically controversy after controversy after controversy, all right? And at first, this was maybe just some, like, social media.
So the best way that I can, like, steelman Ethan's argument is that Ludwig is saying Asmongold got banned for saying negative comments about Palestinians. Frogan got banned for saying negative things about soldiers. And who got banned for saying negative things about Jewish people?
Stuff. But then there was a concerted effort by people to go straight to the advertisers, all right? Because Twitch wasn't buckling. They weren't like banning other people for their comments based off the social media blow up. They were just kind of holding fast. They banned Asman. They're like, okay, we're good now. Please leave us alone. That did not work. They were not left alone. Not only were they not left alone, their advertisers were not left alone. And this is one of the other genesis I can see of advertisers.
So basically, Ethan's just saying, why aren't you saying that these people are specifically attacking Hasan? And ultimately, it doesn't matter because, like, Ludwig is doing a video on the adpocalypse. He's not doing a video on like the Hasan versus Dan Saltman drama. So yeah, it is pretty irrelevant. And again, like the fence sitting thing, he's not even engaging in this drama. He's doing kind of a bird's eye view of the advertising shifts on Twitch. So yeah, like I know reading comments, but do they have actual points? He talks about why this is happening, but refuses to mention key players. It's clear he's being intentionally disingenuous. They banned a bunch of Arab streamers is an example of leaving out key information. They banned streamers who made an Arab or Jewish tier list, with Jewish being the F tier. Okay, well, that didn't happen. He doesn't mention Hasan past. Mizkif thinks it's his fault. In reality, a lot of people are blaming Hasan for his extremist rhetoric. A lot of okay. Where's the mention of H3? Where's the mention of the... So basically, people that are criticizing Ludwig just wanted this to be a drama video, but instead it was like a fairly informative video about the evolution of advertising on Twitch. Like, that's pretty much end of discussion. And even Ethan Klein is triggered by this because he wanted it to be a drama video himself. And I think... I mean, this was crazy. I kind of want to get into like Hasan's reaction of this.
Why did you even bother to make this video? You know what I mean? Just, you don't have to talk about it if you're too cowardly to explain it.
Or with Ethan bringing up when Hasan earlier this year interviewed a pro-Houthi Yemeni pirate, also criticizing Ludwig for how he talked about the Frogan incidents.
This level of anti-Semitism is platformed on a main stage of TwitchCon in front of these...
Dude, that, oh God. Oh, he's never logging off, dude. Philip DeFranco said pro-Houthi Yemeni pirate. And I think that's a more accurate assessment. I mean, yeah, he is Yemeni. He's not a Houthi himself, but he has said that, much like every single person in Yemen now, that they are standing with the government against Israel's actions. He's not a pirate, but, you know, I don't think that saying that he is a pro-Houthi Yemeni teenager would be the more accurate assessment. I don't think he's not a pirate. Anyway.
Sponsors, I mean, what the do you expect, man? Don't blame the people sending emails.
Yes, Houthis are the government. Ansar Allah is the official government of Yemen.
Blame Dan Clancy and his team of morons that did nothing to shield their ecosystem from this, especially considering they had so much time to learn from what happened to YouTube.
Dude, I love that he's also personally being like, I want the adpocalypse to happen to Twitch, and then actively campaigning for it to happen to Twitch by falsely smearing prominent Twitch content creators, myself included, as anti-Semites, vicious anti-Semites, okay, who are actively promoting terrorism, love terrorism. You interviewed a Yemeni teenager that you thought was Houthi, which, by the way, I still maintain the position that I would interview someone who is a Houthi. I just wouldn't do it on Twitch any longer. I'd do it on YouTube, where it's allowed. Okay. I'm sure Ethan would try to get me deplatformed from YouTube as well if I were to do such a thing. That conversation obviously would be very different than the conversation with the teenager that I was talking to, specifically because the teenager I was talking to, I asked about him being potentially anti-Semitic, and he replied that he did not care what anyone's background was as long as they were anti-Zionist against the...
Yeah, anyway. So you can check out Hasan's reaction to Ethan himself. I think it's good now that Hasan's actually engaging in the shit that Ethan's saying, but it's gotten really bad. At first, I did think that Ethan was being genuine in his criticism of Hasan, and he was just misinformed. And so when he saw Hasan interviewing this child, when we saw Hasan interviewing him, yeah. Then like I'm like, oh well, maybe he just doesn't know that he's not a Houthi militant, or even if he was a Houthi militant, maybe Ethan sincerely doesn't know that, you know, those actions are pretty much the exact same as the actions that Ethan's wife took when she was a teenager and she joined the militant group that ruled the country that she lived in. Yeah, Rashid al-Haddad, that's the name of the kid. 19 years old when Hasan interviewed him. So probably older than that now if he's still alive. So, yeah. And then Hasan, and then when Ethan criticized Hasan for playing that Houthi music video, I was like, okay, well, like I can see why he would get mad. But again, the Houthis are a resistance group born out of Saudi Arabia attacking Yemen and also Israel, like contributing to that. So, you know, you got to kind of judge them with a grain of salt, and you can also judge them based off of the criteria that you can judge all government / militaries. And a lot, like pretty much everyone on that list would fail those judgments. So, all right, what do we got here? Asmongold. I was going to react to some Asmongold, but I think I'm going to save that for a later day. So just a few things, a few odds and ends. Some people on the H3 podcast, like Reddit, are kind of getting sick of this, and so they're saying, oh, so many of the top posts lately have come from profiles active in Destiny sub. What do you think on that? And then update on the Amsterdam story. Seems important to recognize the truth. And this was just like talking more about how like the hooligan fights that happened in Amsterdam is not a pogrom against the Jews. And I mean, it's still really bad. Ethan has been pretty much systematically pushing out everyone that still had any kind of sympathy left for Hasan from his community by insisting on talking about it, not only on his podcast, but having his mods, his moderators ban people that are posting pro-Hasan content on Ethan's subreddit. So, and then also just banning people from the comment sections and the chat on his YouTube videos. So let's just get into it, man. Let's get into this Willy Mac show. Let's take a quick scroll through his videos and see what kind of content he does. So anti-Sneeko stuff, targeting Mr. Beast, Dr. Disrespect, Imilex, don't know who that is, the Predators of Kick, the most racist leftist slanders. The most racist leftist slanders everyone. Hasan video 6 months ago, a Vosh video, a Vosh video, a Keffels video. So basically, he's just a drama shark trying to get views off of just shitting on people. So let's get into it. 35 minutes, not that long.
Last year, I started
Put it up a
documenting
speed.
Hasan for his blatantly false reporting.
I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shock.
An Israeli airstrike hit the Al-Ahli hospital. You were so right. They had a 7.
Bro. 11 seconds into this clip. 11 seconds into this clip, and he's already had 2 clips of Hasan that he's used to try to show Hasan is bad that are not relevant at all. What the fuck? Okay. Let's get into this. So Hasan saying that Russia is not invading Ukraine.
Last year,
That's an example of him having bad reporting? Is that what this guy's making the case of?
started documenting Hasan for his blatantly false reporting.
I was right about Ukraine.
Okay, I'm sorry. I might have to slow this video down because let's go to normal. Stream title. I was right about war in Ukraine and most were wrong. I was right about no war in Ukraine. Shocker. Get in now. Lots to talk about.
That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shock.
An Israeli airstrike hit the Al-Ahli hospital. You were so right. They had a...
Does he not have... I thought he was going to source his clips. Okay, never mind. So, yeah. Obviously, Hasan was wrong about that. It was a prediction. It would be like saying he predicted Kamala Harris to win, and that's false reporting because Donald Trump won. I have no other analysis to offer than that. And then if we're going to talk about the Al-Aqsa hospital bombing that this guy said that Hasan reported on, it was a hospital that was bombed, and the evidence at the time pointed to an Israeli munition hitting the hospital, because I believe like the blast was big enough that made people think it was an Israeli missile and not a Hamas missile. And that is still disputed to this day. However, further investigations have concluded or have leaned towards that missile being launched from Israel that hit the hospital. So Hasan reported on the news. It was like news organizations initially reported that the missile launched. I mean, if you are reporting on every single news organization and the news organizations all, like every single one of them has it wrong, what do you want him to go to Gaza himself? He did follow-up stories on it. That's like pretty much the best you can do in this situation. Okay, so that is not an example of Hasan being a bad journalist. And the fact that this motherfucker, like the guy who made this video, Willy Mac, is that his name? The fact that this guy, Willie Mack, is saying that that's misreporting is a really bad sign to start this video off with, because he's basically saying that Hasan said that the missile that hit this hospital was from Israel, but that's misreporting. Okay, but you don't know either. Like, the most recent investigations that have been done on that have leaned towards that missile coming from Israel. You have no counter evidence to that effect. And it just makes me think that this guy is a Zionist. He is an Israel defender. But we'll see. We're 10 seconds in, and he already looks like this video looks like shit.
7,000 new troops. So what's going to end up happening is that by April, this is going to be done. IDF didn't bomb the hospital.
Okay, again, sure, he was wrong about that.
Change title? IDF didn't bomb the hospital? Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I criticize them for being a...
Okay, it literally did. I mean, we can look this up pretty easily. The Al-Ali hospital explosion. Just go to the Wikipedia article on it. It's not that hard. On the 17th of October 2023, an explosion took place in a courtyard of the Al-Aqli Arab Hospital in Gaza City during the Israel-Hamas war, resulting in a large number of displaced Palestinians seeking shelter there being killed or injured. So we can see that international media initially reported that over 500 Palestinians were killed, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, but this was a mistranslation of a report that had mentioned over 500 total victims. The Gaza Health Ministry later reported a more precise figure of 471 killed and 342 wounded. A report by Human Rights Watch questioned the health ministry's casualty figures. The Anglican Diocese of Jerusalem, which manages the hospital, reported 200 people killed, while the U.S. assessed a figure between 100 and 300. Wow, love. What is the point of this? There's 100 and 300 people dead. That's a pretty wide margin. Okay. The cause of the explosion is contested. Israel, the United States, France, and the United Kingdom and Canada said that their intelligence sources indicate the cause of the explosion was a failed rocket launch from within Gaza by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Hamas and PIJ stated the explosion was caused by an Israeli airstrike. Several sources considered that an errant rocket from Gaza was the likeliest explanation a week after the incident, based on the evidence gathered in investigations conducted by the AP, CNN, The Economist, The Guardian, and The Wall Street Journal. In late November 2023, Human Rights Watch also stated that the available evidence made an Israeli airstrike highly unlikely. Channel 4 News investigations contested Israeli claims of a misfired Hamas rocket being responsible for the blast. In its investigation on the 20th October 2023, Forensic architecture concluded the blast was the result of a munition fired from the direction of Israel, and in subsequent visual investigations published on 15 February 2024 and 17 October 2024, with the latter including situated testimony from doctors, it casts further doubt on the errant rocket launch theory. So, I mean, we can dive deep into the weeds of this. The fact is that Israel has a history of bombing hospitals, and there is no abundantly clear answer for where this rocket launch came from. But the IDF lied. We can see. Yeah, we can see with the analyses. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the IDF was changing their stories. And they said that they didn't have jets in that area at the time. And that's their evidence for that it couldn't have been them. Yeah, so it says that Channel 4 News reported that the trajectory of the missile that appeared on Al Jazeera Live is inconsistent with the missile launching location stated by the IDF, and noted a contradiction in IDF statements on the location of the launching site of the alleged Palestinian missile that hit the hospital in their presentation. On 20th October, Channel 4 News also used Doppler effect sound analysis of the strike and visual analysis of the crater created by the strike. Both analyses indicated that the object that caused the blast would have come from points east of the hospital, not west as the IDF claimed. Channel 4 also reported that Hamas and Islamic Jihad had not backed their claims of Israeli origin with evidence, and that Islamic Jihad claimed to have a missile fragment but have not produced it. Forensic architecture, in an analysis of footage of the blast site, disputed Israel's account that it was caused by a rocket from Gaza, and concluding instead that it resulted from a munition fired from the northeast in the direction of Israel. So, I mean, here's what I think happened. I think that the IDF realizes they launched it, and just like the Pentagon, they would fail an audit if it was, if they had to find their records for who launched this, who gave the order. I think it was just a missile that was launched by someone without any orders from higher ups, and the IDF was just covering their ass. The Palestinian Islamic Jihad doesn't know. Hamas doesn't know. But a lot of investigations do point to the idea that it was Israel. And we know Israel bombs hospitals. We know Israel doesn't care about harming civilians. And the fact that Israel is disputing this record is pretty much meaningless. The evidence points towards Israel, the literal evidence, and then also the circumstantial evidence of Israel's pattern of bombing hospitals also points towards Israel. So when also a lot of news media organizations are stating that a hospital was bombed, of course you're going to say it was Israel that was doing it.
Propagandists coming to conclusions on breaking news when the story hadn't even been fully reported on.
Bro, oh my God. Literally every single fucking news media organization reported on this story before they were able to find out the information. We're still finding out the information about it. It's one of the worst takes you could ever give. Oh, Hasan read a news article before waiting years for the analysis to clear up.
Right now is the same thing you always do. I'm just saying, you're doing it in real time. You're doing it in real time, bro.
Over the course of an 8-hour broadcast, if you look to literally 3 moments,
how come nobody else shut up as much as you, dude? That does 8-hour broadcasts.
Because no one has the most psychopathic fandom like idiots like you who sit through every minutia to find a clippable moment. To find a clippable moment to be like, he sucks, he's bad. That's the reason, dickhead. All right.
He followed this up by interviewing a terrorist, eating up propaganda about taking hostages.
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did qat with them, and he danced to music with them, and he was vibing. So he likes him, yeah.
So what? I mean, what? That's so crazy.
He's saying that they went over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
That's so funny. Okay, that doesn't probably take much.
Yeah, hilarious. The crew is still held captive, and Hasan continues to glorify terror.
Okay, that was kind of funny. Yeah, hilarious. I mean, what are you trying to prove here? That he does terrorist propaganda by interviewing like a teenager?
Terrorism by playing their propaganda and passing it off as happy musicals.
What do you mean a music video? They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it.
When you said music video, I'm expecting like bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know.
No.
And this is right here. This is what is getting Ethan Klein's panties in a bunch. This, like these like 20 pixels.
No, they do like they do musicals. They're very musical people.
Praising their leaders, all while hypocritically defending Russia and China's invasion of their neighbors.
You call Crimea, I call it a part of Russia.
Bro, he just shows a single screen grab of Hassan Nasrallah and says, praising their leaders.
Musical people.
Praising their leaders, all while hypocritically defending Russia and China's invasion of their neighbors.
You call Crimea, I call it a part of Russian territory. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River. Bite the bullet on the Hassan-Houthi kid.
Bro, that was funny. Come on, Crimea River. That's like a classic Hassan soundbite.
Why? Why would I ever? If I did something that was fucked up, by my estimations, I would of course apologize for it. I have time and time again.
Name one time. He can't because he's never owned up to anything. Hasan continues to be the worst political streamer, and Twitch supports him.
Yeah, where is that chatter? He was like, come to Israel. It's so beautiful here. I should go to the old city so I can get my fucking shit.
Bro, talking about Jews? What the fuck is this? So if you criticize Ben Shapiro talking about Jews, you made fun of Ben Shapiro's voice. You mocked him. Are you mocking Jews, Hasan? Bro, this guy's disgusting. I don't know if I can make it through this whole video. Okay. We'll try.
By some of the most inbred fundamentalist hicks.
No, it's not illegal. It's not criminal, but it feels like it should be. Sort of like those monthly subscriptions.
You know what feels like it's criminal? You making content. This video is trash. Okay. Hasan hates inferior cultures. Hasan rewrites history. Zionism. Radicalizing other streamers. Glorifying terror. Twitch loves Hasan. Well, that's at least a happy part. Conclusion. Okay. Honestly, I can't get through this whole video. Hasan hates inferior cultures. Bro, if someone has slavery, like, I don't know, maybe you should try to, like, fix their fucking slavery. Maybe we as Americans shouldn't be fine with China being filled with sweatshops. That's kind of the idea of a global socialist union where all of the, like, you can't really get capitalism, you can't really get rid of capitalism in only your country. It does kind of have to be a global revolution. So yeah, okay, what is this? Hasan rewrites history. I'm just gonna skip the inferior cultures part. Hasan rewrites history. Okay, let's just go to the Zionism part.
Anti-Semitism. I want to take a moment and talk about the word Zionist. All it means is someone who thinks Israel has the right to exist, which is 90% of Jewish people. Now, Hasan rarely gives the definition of Zionist. He uses it like a slur, the equivalent to Nazi.
Fascism is the underpinning ideological movement that the Zionist ideology represents. Same as the Nazis.
The chatter is like, come to Israel and you can get a fuller perspective. And Hasan dogs them.
Yeah, where is that chatter? He was like, come to Israel. It's so beautiful here. You will see the conflict from my eyes. Yeah. I should go to the old city so I can get my fucking shit pushed in by some of the most inbred fundamentalist hicks. You can enter Israel. What's more to say? Brother.
Okay. I mean, inbred, I'll leave that comment aside, but if a lot of people that are fundamentalists are fucking crazy, and that goes for any religion you can think of. What's funny about Hasan like making fun of that chatter saying to come to Israel is because Hasan would get murked if he went to Israel. Israel has a habit of killing journalists and just American citizens that protest against Zionism. And this streamer, I mean, this guy Willy Mac, I don't know. He's making fun of the fact that Hasan is analyzing Zionism and saying that it's a fascist ideology. He just played that and he's like, oh, look at how dumb Hasan is, right? I don't think... I'm not getting the impression that Willie Mac's a really stupid person. I just think he's being extremely disingenuous with this, and he treats his audience like they're stupid people. So he says, all that Zionism means is that you think Israel has a right to exist. Okay, can you talk about the form that Israel exists in now, which is an ethno-state, which... an ethno-state enforced through apartheid and has like a colonial bend to it. Can you talk about that and how like maybe you can enlighten your audience, and maybe posting a clip of Hasan saying that Israel is fascist won't be so funny now.
I am not going to Nazi Germany, okay? I hope you understand this. And I mean this with all sincerity and with all disrespect.
And then you got Ethan, who's been very critical of Israel, but is constantly being called a Zionist by Hassan's chat. For what other reason than him being Jewish?
Hassan's Discord, and by the...
So the reason Ethan's being called a Zionist by Hassan's chat is not because he is Jewish. Hassan's chat calls a lot of people Zionists that aren't Jewish, and they don't call a lot of Jewish people Zionist because they're not Zionists, even if they happen to be Jewish. The reason that Ethan Klein is a Zionist is because he thinks Israel, in this guy's terms, has a right to exist. Israel has a right to be an ethno-state. Ethan Klein will say, I don't like the settlers. I don't like the genocidal... Okay, well, he won't even say genocidal. He doesn't like the violence that they're doing in Gaza, and he doesn't like Netanyahu because Netanyahu's not bringing the hostages back. But he likes Yoav Galan, who is literally a war criminal, and his crimes are genocide. And he likes the ethno-state of Israel. He will not reckon with the fact that Israel is an ethno-state, and that's what people talk about when they're saying that we should, like, basically... People that are anti-Zionists just want Israel to stop being an ethno-state. That's pretty much all they want. They just want equal rights for both Palestinians and Jewish people. And Ethan can't reconcile with that fact, and this guy Willy Mac is, I mean, this video is for dumb people, so he's not going to really get into that.
The way, to the people who are in that Discord, I saw everything you guys said. It was recorded, sent to me. What I saw in that Discord was near universal praise for Hamas, near universal saying people deserved it, near universal people saying dudes who was like, the hang gliders came in and showed him what's up. People saying he's spitting facts. Near universal. People near universally calling me a Zionist pig, mass murdering genocidal freak.
Hasan indirectly supports this stuff because they're repeating it from him.
You fucking baying pig! You fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dog! Suck my dick! You bad faith, apartheid defending, bloodthirsty genocidal freak!
It doesn't seem like a coincidence that his mod is wishing PTSD on soldiers in subgoaling 9/11 reenactments.
I will never have any...
Again, like, criticizing Hasan because of the people that are tangentially related to him. I mean, Hasan calling someone a pig now is evidence of him being anti-Semitic, and I'm really not trying to play dumb here, but you cannot take much from these, like, 5-second long clips that this guy's playing. He played a clip of Hasan calling someone a bloodthirsty genocidal freak. Okay, how is that being anti-Semitic? I don't even know if this guy Willie Mack is trying to make the case that Hasan is anti-Semitic. But if he is, he's not really doing a good job of it. And yeah, again, it's like every single word in the English language pig can be used in an anti-Semitic way. It can be used to denigrate Jewish people. However, pig can also be used in a way that doesn't denigrate Jewish people. It can be used in a way that like makes fun of someone, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they're Jewish. It's not an anti-Semitic dog whistle to call someone a pig. Okay? I mean, I feel like Ethan would understand that, since he's had this whole crusade against people that are saying Zionism is a dog whistle for Jews. Like, obviously in certain contexts, right?
Pity for any soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
She lives in Michigan, by the way.
And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Base? 6250. 9/11 baking stream with Raf and Capri. If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri, Raf, and I will make the Twin Towers out of a stacked cake, and we'll make an airplane, and we'll recreate 9/11.
I support it if it's all jokes, but it's coming from their very real political opinions.
Wait a second. So this guy fucking Willy Mac is like, you know, if you are joking about the Twin Towers, yeah, fuck it, go ahead, bake a cake of the Twin Towers, bake a little airplane, and then like crash the airplane into the cakes that you baked. That's some lit ass motherfucking content right there. That is amazing. I support it if it's all jokes. Of course, like, it'd only be jokes. So he doesn't have an issue with edgy jokes if it doesn't have anything to do with your political ideology.
It's not surprising that it's Hassan's friend group that goes on stage and does an Arab tier list where Hassan's at the top and Ethan's at the bottom. I'll let Ethan explain.
It's a panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra.
I mean, can Ethan talk about any of the other categories?
A tier list where they rate
Arab code. Like, why doesn't he talk about any of the other categories? Because it just shatters the narrative he's trying to build, where he says, Frogan did a racial tier list where Arab is at the top and Jewish is at the bottom. Brother Ethan, you have made the case that Jewish people are Arab in a lot of circumstances. Like, there's a large portion of Jewish people that are Arab, so like there's Arab Jewish people on this panel. How does that make any sense? How? And he would just say that, oh, well, Frogan's such an idiot, she doesn't realize that there are Arab Jews when she's sitting right next to one and does a podcast with one. Like, the Arab podcast is literally like a Christian Arab, a Jewish Arab, and a Muslim Arab. So yeah, saying this is a racial tier list with Arab at the top, Jewish at the bottom, doesn't make any sense. What is it? Arab coded, asks permission, thinks it's a slur, loves Sabra. And this was talking about like the word Habibi or something. So it's just like, how involved are you with Arab culture? Either you are an Arab person and you actually like live and embody that culture, you're at the top. If you're Arab coded and like you aren't Arab but you appear Arab, you have like some Arab tendencies or identify with some aspects of Arab culture, you're Arab coded. Asks permission, you like are aware of Arab culture, but you're like friendly with it, you're on fine terms with it. I'm going to ask permission to use this Arab word. Thinks it's a slur. You have no concept of Arab culture whatsoever, and you think that like this Arab word is a slur. Oh, like the NPR white liberal type of person. Oh, I mean, should I say that? Are we allowed to say that now? That's what it is. And then love Sabra, it's like the lowest level. It's like the most whitest version of an Arab type food, which is hummus. So I don't know. It's a joke, right? The final thing is a joke. And Ethan saying that like a Jewish person is at the bottom and they're doing a tier list of Arab to Jew is insane.
People where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator. They've been the subject of the...
Bro, what the... Okay, hold on. Sabra in Israel. So, Sabra hummus. What the fuck? I mean, okay. Google's AI overview. No, Sabra is not sold in Israel. Sabra Dipping Company. The Sabra Dipping Company is a U.S.-based company that manufactures and distributes hummus and other Middle Eastern-style foods in North America and Canada. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't even realize that. What is this? Sabra Dipping Company is a U.S.-based company. As of 2016, the company held a 60% market share for hummus sales in the U.S. and was forecast to exceed $1 billion in sales in 2017. All right, so but they're not sold in Israel, right? I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just sold in the U.S. and Canada. Products, revenue, industry. Yeah, they're available throughout the U.S. and Canada, so you can't even buy them in Israel. And Ethan's saying that... I thought Ethan lived in Israel. I thought he was like an Israeli citizen. And he's saying that everyone in Israel has Sabra hummus in their fridge? What the actual fuck?
In which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator. They've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott.
Bro, it's literally not even sold in Israel. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, this was like one of the first things I covered, and it's just so dumb that I've been like staying away from covering it again, but revisiting it makes me realize just how stupid it is.
I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad.
Hassan.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder where they're gonna put Hassan. I'm gonna guess they're gonna put him in Arab.
Bro, this is giving off the vibe of someone that's mad that like a friend group is embracing one friend over me, and it's like Ethan. I don't know. It's just giving off that vibe of Ethan being spurned by this friend group and kind of like being outcasted by
He's Turkish. But he's a brother.
Yeah.
You know? So...
yeah, I think he'd be on Arab coded.
I mean, I would put him in Arab, to be honest.
I would put him also in Arab.
Which is great. That's the good one. That's the one you want.
Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
Bro, it's literally talking about like how people identify with being Arab. It's not good or bad if you're Arab. It's just, I don't know. It's like it's talking about how in love with like spaghetti someone is. Do they make spaghetti homemade every day? Like, do they work as a spaghetti chef? Do they think that spaghetti is an Italian slur against people? Or what would the bottom be? Loves ragu or loves Chef Boyardee. That'd be at the bottom because, oh, Chef Boyardee is so obviously a disgusting type of spaghetti sauce that, like, it's like the opposite of someone who makes spaghetti every day, right? It's not saying it's good or bad. It's that in the specific context of this, like, yeah, we're rating you on how in tune with Arab culture you are. That's essentially what it is.
That's
Jewish.
Dude, where's the? You guys are missing a category for Zionist. That was a joke. That was just a joke.
Yeah, the Zionist tier for Ethan because he's a Zionist and that's bad. Wink, wink. 90% of Jews.
Okay, dude. I mean, being a Zionist is kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. And then this is really dumb. 90% of Israeli Jews call themselves Zionists, 8 in 10 U.S. Jews say caring about Israel is an important or essential part of what being Jewish means to them. Wow, great job, great job. So that means that all Zionists, or like if you criticize Zionists, you're being anti-Semitic, right? Okay, what about the Jews that are anti-Zionist? What about the idea that before World War II, like the vast majority of Jewish people were anti-Zionist and they thought it was a fucking stupid idea to form an ethno-state in the middle of Palestine?
By the way.
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it.
Hasan read about this situation on stream and left, fully supporting the streamers.
Many interpret the ranking as one from Arab the Jew. One panelist added, I'll just say it, there should be an even lower category called Zionist, which was met with applause from the audience.
People have downloaded and documented Hasan's chat, and is constantly calling people like Ethan Zionist dogs, soulless scum. They hate anyone who thinks Israel should exist. So if 90% of Jews are Zionist, and you and your community hate Zionists, it comes off as using the same coded language as the Nick Fuentes crowd.
Need to do is all this movement that's around, Jews do this. This needs to stop. This really needs to stop, and we need to focus on Zionism, Israel, Israelis. Start calling them Zionists. Start calling it Israel. Stop using the name Jews, because this is what gets you demonetized. As for Nick Fuentes, replace that word Jew with Zionist. I don't think you'll have that many issues.
Okay, that's so funny. That's so funny to me. So yesterday I covered Ethan going through that Twitcher terrorist game that he did on his show, and the only time the word Zionist was used was for Myron Gaines saying, stop saying Zionist, stop saying oligarchs, stop saying bankers, just say Jews. So Myron is calling for the removal of Zionism, or of Zionists as a dog whistle for Jewish people. And this fat fuck, whatever podcast he was on, is calling for the use of Zionism as a dog whistle. And it's just hilarious, because these conservatives they're too out there now. Like, they've let it all hang out, and there's no reeling all of their blubber, exposed belly fat, all of their rolls back in. It's out there. They're anti-Semitic, and they're open about it. Once you go openly anti-Semitic, you can't start dog whistling again. That's not how it works. Your audience isn't going to be there for it. Just look at what Alex Jones had. He wasn't able to ever rein himself back in. He kept getting banned and banned from platform after platform. Even his own private platform just got fucking nuked out of existence. So yeah, when you're going to try to make the disingenuous comparison of leftists saying Zionists to conservative anti-Semites saying we should or we shouldn't use Zionists as a dog whistle, it always is comical, because inevitably they're just going to get rid of the dog whistle. However, I do kind of agree that Zionism, while it's a useful word, it is getting co-opted by groups like the ADL, people like Ethan Klein, who are saying, well, you're just saying Zionist as a dog whistle. So if you are going to talk about Zionism and Israel with people in your life that may or may not be on the same page with you, may or may not support Israel, instead of using the word Zionist and say, oh, well, you're a Zionist, you support Israel, just be a little bit more specific. And instead of using Zionism, which is a bundle, Zionism is basically a bundle of words, and it's like a neat package of words, which is a ethno-state fascist ideology specific for Israel. But you can take each of those parts out of the Zionist bundle and just present those parts without that label of Zionism slapped on top of it. So you can say, okay, well, Israel's a fascist state. They have a government that is extremely nationalistic. They have this mythos about them that they're God's chosen people. They have this common enemy that they're being geared towards, which is simultaneously extremely strong but extremely weak and beneath them and subhuman. They are an ethno-state. It's baked into their laws. You can really quickly find Israel's apartheid laws if you just search up racist Israel laws, and you'll see that it's in their constitution that Jewish people have more rights than non-Jewish people. They're a colonial power. You can talk about the expansion that they've been doing, the current expansion that's happening right now. The fact that they're fighting all of these wars in order to take over land. So you can talk about how they're fascist, they are an ethno-state, they are an apartheid, they're a colonial power backed by the United States, backed by the UK, in order to essentially like promote the military-industrial complex and ensure the interests of these Western nations in the region. So if they have this strong nation state of Israel, then like the military industrial complex will be well fed, and the United States has like a white guy on the inside, essentially. Like they have a man on the inside, which is Israel in the Middle East. So yeah, if you are going to Zionism, it's a great word. It's an ideology that has really caused a lot of suffering and death over the last like century and a half, even before that, which is when Zionism first started picking up steam, like early 1900s. Yeah, it's a word that's caused a lot of suffering and death. However, I think that you can like unpackage some of the ideas that Zionism represents when having a conversation with people about it, because Zionism is now if you're talking to a supporter of Israel and you're saying, oh well, you're a Zionist, that can really cause them to shut down. So just in trying to in the sense that you're trying to like have a good discussion about it, maybe you can do away with the word.
With that fact, Hasan calls everyone a Nazi.
That's why people don't understand. Like, there's no difference between what fucking Nazis say when they say, "Oh, 95% of Jews love Zionism. 95% of Jews are Zionists."
What is this? Now pointing out that most Jews are Zionist makes you a Nazi?
Zionists. Nazis say that. You know who else says that? Dumb fucking Zionists who think that that is.
Wait, what?
Nazis.
That's why people don't understand. Like, there's no difference between what fucking Nazis say when they say, "Oh, 95% of Jews love Zionism. 95% of Jews are Zionists." Nazis say that. You know who else says that? Dumb fucking Zionists who think that that is a way to defend Zionism.
In response to this criticism, Hasan just starts pointing to every anti-Zionist Jew he knows, as if that somehow changes the facts. I'm actually friends with a Jewish guy, and he's anti-Zionist, so I gotta pass.
All of my friends that I've made through obviously my political acts and also my career in online media or media in general are some of the most aggro anti-Zionists you've ever met.
You won't be able to say you hate 90% of an ethnic group and not get banned on most of these websites. I'm genuinely asking, at what point is it just...
Bro, what the... He's saying... So this guy is now making the claim that Hasan hates 90% of Jewish people. Oh my God. So, okay, first of all, that poll, I don't know where he got that number from, but even if that poll is 100% accurate, it's still saying that caring about Israel is an important part of my my Jewish identity. That doesn't mean that they believe in Israel's expansionist policies. They believe in the fact that Israel needs to be an ethno-state. Maybe they care about Israel because they grew up there. Maybe they care about Israel because they have family there. It doesn't mean they're ideologically aligned with Israel. And I do resent the idea that 90% of Jews are Zionists, because you can care about Israel and not be a Zionist. That is a thing. You can care about the house that you grew up in and have fond memories of it, like going to Israel for summer camp or whatever, and you can not be a Zionist. You become a Zionist when you're defending Israel's actions, when you're defending Yoav Gallant as being a good guy when he is a war criminal. And you also become a Zionist when you are attacking pro-Palestinian voices because they're not being the perfect pro-Palestinian activist.
Just a dog whistle. So is Hasan anti-Semitic? I don't know, but every action he takes comes off that.
Wow, so brave. Dude, I fucking hate this guy. This guy looks like... No. He does not look like a full human.
Jewish people are getting beat up in the streets of the Netherlands after a soccer match, and Hasan thinks it's funny.
The Maccabi Tel Aviv hooligans are getting attacked right now in the Netherlands after ignoring the minute.
Bro, it was objectively funny. I mean, Dude, they did drive-by hits on like a Maccabi group of people with fucking electric bikes. Like that's the most Amsterdam-y European thing ever. Like soccer hooligans fighting each other using drive-by electric bikes. That's hilarious. Also, we just need to put this into perspective. People have died at hooligan conflicts with each other. Like after soccer games, there have been riots that have broken out where people have died. Cops have died. There's been like insane city shutdowns. This was extremely minor. Like a few people got hospitalized by it. We just need to, people are freaking the fuck out over it. And it's, I mean, it was an extremely minor event that happened.
The silence for Valencia victims and singing racing chants about the extermination of Arabs. Dutch Moroccans are making them aware that this isn't.
For the children! For the children!
What the fuck? What is happening? Is this ceased to be funny and now I'm in a bad mood? I mean, it's still kind of funny that it's like, well, not this. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Well, and what's funny about it, Hasan, because this is the story. He then just moves on and never addresses it again. The next day he'd talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust this fucking Willy Mac guy to accurately depict what Hasan does on like his 10 hours of streaming a day. Oh, he just moves on and he never addresses this again.
Like it's a meme.
This is the funny. Yeah, I mean, this is correct. Soccer fans beating each other up. What has happened to Europe? I mean, it's my assessment. When I first heard about it, I was like, wow, I'm shocked to find out that soccer fans are fighting.
These Israeli fans are not innocent. They were chanting threats to Arabs, being racist.
They rolled into town with Mossad agents, started and is now a pogrom because they lost a traditional Euro-style soccer fight.
But it's just one more instance of him downplaying the violence when it comes to Jews. When people bring up the rapes on October 7th, he scoffs, sometimes outright denying that they even happened.
I mean, do you have any other examples of him like minimizing violence due to Jews? Okay, he's going to be talking about the rapes here. I've covered this so much. Yeah, like, I'll just do it again for any new viewers. There is evidence that sexual assault and sexual violence happened on October 7th due to Hamas. There were a lot of claims made in the immediate aftermath of October 7th that were blown up to an insane degree by extremely powerful voices such as like CNN, BBC, and then those were picked up by politicians, Israeli spokespeople, UK politicians, American politicians, basically Zionists, people that are ideologically aligned with Israel and support Israel's expansionist policies. When you blow up these claims that ended up being fake, and like these horrific claims of babies being beheaded and women being sexually assaulted, and like the massive amounts of this sexual violence that happened, those like extreme claims that were picked up by the news media and became the narrative coming out of October 7th, there's no other way to put it, but those were false. And so while there was sexual violence that happened, the sheer amount of sexual violence that politicians were saying happened just does not happen at all. And so why were those claims blown up? Well, a big part of it is because you need to dehumanize Hamas and the Palestinian people in order to have public support behind what Israel's doing in Gaza and in the West Bank. And the sexual violence and like the gratuitous violence that happened on October 7th, which again, a lot of these claims of gratuitous violence is false, but that is being used to dehumanize people and galvanize public support behind Israel. And so that is what Hasan is doing. He's saying that, like, you know, this like animalistic violence that was described on October 7th didn't happen. Politicians are repeating it non-critically, and the effect that it's having is it is dehumanizing Palestinians, and it's doing that to get like to make Palestinians look like shit and get support behind Israel for killing them all.
What rapes did Hezbollah do? Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking about?
Hamas has committed horrific acts of sexual violence and took
women and girls, men and boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people.
Women were horribly raped. As I said then, I say today, Israel has...
So yeah, why are all of these U.S. politicians bringing it up? There was no evidence of like mass R words happening on October 7th. No evidence of top-down orders from Hamas using sexual violence as a strategy to basically instill fear and terror into the population. Every military engagement does have sexual violence happening in it, and the reason that politicians are bringing it up so much in this case is to, again, dehumanize Palestinians, delegitimize the Palestinian right to sovereignty, and embolden and like reinforce Israel's claim that, you know, we do need to go so far against these people. We do need to bomb like 80% of their buildings in Gaza. And we do need to kill them, like do a final solution on them.
Had a right.
What message does he think he's sending? There's a reason Myron's trying to relate to him on Twitter. It's not an accident his entire chat.
God, I fucking hate this guy, Willy Mac.
There's a reason Myron...
They will always call you an anti-Semite, Hassan. How about you have a discussion about it instead of freaking out from a clip that doesn't show full context? Wait, what is this? You of all people should not be talking. I know you're on the chopping block at Twitch and government officials are lobbying to cancel you, but there's no point trying to appease the Zionists trying to cancel you by sucking up at this point. How about you have a discussion about it instead of freaking out from a clip that doesn't show full context? Are you going to be like Ben Shapiro and run from this too? Wait, so this is Myron challenging Hasan.
As I said then, I say today, Israel had a right.
What message does he think he's sending? There's a reason.
Yeah, this is literally Hasan criticizing Myron and then Myron yelling at Hasan. It's not Myron trying to relate to him. What is this? So yeah, this is the tweet that Hasan dunked on Myron, and he's basically saying, I'm losing my fucking mind at the unrestricted anti-Semitism. And then Myron's like, why are you complaining about anti-Semitism? The Jews are going after you too. That's what Myron is saying. Jesus Christ. And this fucking idiot, Willy Mac, is saying that Myron is relating to him. He doesn't think to read that Hasan is criticizing anti-Semitism with this tweet that he's using. Oh my God, dude, you cannot make this stuff up. Hasan is literally criticizing anti-Semitism in this tweet. And Willy Mac is using the tweet to say that Hasan's promoting anti-Semitism.
Trying to relate to him on Twitter. It's not.
Wait, how did that fucking play? Dude, that's insane. What the actual fuck? Gotta run that one
Israel
back.
Had a right.
What message does he think he's sending? There's a reason Myron's trying to relate to him on Twitter.
Dude's fighting a 58-year-old man, and you're simping for a 113-year-old agency that will call you an anti-Semite no matter what you do. Stop trying to bash me and sneak out to make yourself look good. Bro, again, Myron's not relating to Hasan. He's criticizing Hasan for just being himself on Twitter. The first one, Hasan was literally calling out Myron for being an anti-Semite. And this one, Hasan's just commenting about a boxing match, and Myron's being like, yeah, and the Jews are trying to hate you. Why are you targeting me?
It's not an accident his entire chat thinks this was based and cool.
For the children! For the children!
Too based, let's go. Haha, rip bozo. We must continue to
What are they talking? What are these chats in order? Like what are they relevant to? He's just showing random chats and we don't even know the context of like why people were
Hasan may feel like he's made this clear distinction between Zionists and Jews, but his chat clearly isn't picking up on it. His friends aren't either, and he clearly doesn't care enough to
his friends aren't like
correct them. And that brings us back to the Houthi. Let's be real, guys. If we can't call a Houthi terrorist whose motto is to destroy the only Jewish state and put a curse upon the people, promising to put him on spikes, if we can't even call him anti-Semitic, then the word is meaningless. Nobody fits.
Oh my God. I mean, again, he said it to Zionists. He said he was going to do it to Zionists. We don't know that he's a Houthi. It's like the fucking Houthi flag. Bro, the Houthis have no power over Israel at all. Why are we even talking about them? Like, they're irrelevant. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. Glorifying terror. Twitch loves Hasan. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get through this video. I mean, let me know if you want to do a part. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna get to the glorifying terror part. Let me know if you want me to do a part 2 of this, but I'm done. I'm gonna do this part and then be over.
This day. In another stream, Hasan would mourn the leadership of Hezbollah getting killed.
Hassan Nasrallah was assassinated.
Wait, what'd you say?
Hassan Nasrallah.
Who's that?
He's the leader of Hezbollah, the general secretary of Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization that is also a part of the Lebanese parliament.
Do we like them or no?
I think as a resistance group, they're pretty successful against Israel. But everybody hates them. Like everybody in the region, a lot of people don't like.
Bro, I mean, Willy Mac said Hasan is mourning the death of Hassan Nasrallah. I wasn't seeing it at first, but I mean, look, Hasan is wearing black. I mean, color of mourning, right? So we got to respect Hasan. He's in his mourning period. I mean, what, you wear that for 2 weeks, I think, or like after the funeral, you wear black for a while.
Like them. Like,
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
He romanticizes the guy. His chat thinks Hezbollah.
Bro, what the fuck? Like, he literally did historical analysis or political analysis on Hezbollah. He's talking about how, like, they're deemed a political group, but as a resistance group, Hasan doesn't have an issue with them. And the guy's like, he's mourning Hassan Nasrallah's death. He's romanticizing Hassan Nasrallah. Why is he doing this? Hassan's a horrible person.
Is based.
Can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah based. I mean, listen, a lot of these dudes.
Okay, first of all, that chatter, like, was probably joking, right? I can't believe I'm calling him based. Just because Hassan Nasrallah, I mean, I'd love to see the full context of this clip, but this guy doesn't have it because obviously, like, he didn't find these clips himself. This is all from, like, the Destiny subreddit. So yeah, the chatter was probably joking about it, and he's like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to say that this guy's based because he said something I agree with, which is, again, I'm going to move my, and I covered this already, so sorry that I'm recovering things, but never ends. Israel used to be a tool at the hands of the British, and then the guy's like, oh wow, I can't believe I'm going to call him based. He's actually saying that Israel is a client state of the United States and the UK, and maybe he was criticizing that too. I can't believe I'm going to say that he's based. And then the reason I laughed is because Hasan's like pouncing on that and being like, yeah, you're wrong to say he's based, but also he's a smart guy.
You see
and
them
so
in
like you shouldn't be surprised that he has correct political analysis every now and then.
Their fucking fits, and you hear about like some of their attitudes about like gay people, for example, and you immediately resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million.
Hezbollah as a whole has a complicated history. My problem with Hasan is that there's no nuance. He's constantly glorifying them. You must be.
Bro, again, I'm not getting the vibe that this guy Willy Mac is stupid, but he is just completely willing to lie to his audience in order to make these hit pieces on people. So yeah, that video of Hasan saying you Orientalize guys like Hassan Nasrallah because of the way they look and the color of their skin and the language that they speak, but they're extremely well read and they're extremely intelligent. How is that like sensationalizing the person and making them out to be an amazing guy?
By a million.
Hezbollah as a whole has a complicated history. My problem with Hasan is that there's no nuance. He's constantly glorifying them. You must be a racist if you don't like the leader of Hezbollah.
Like it.
Okay, so when Ethan takes a clip and then he says like the opposite thing of what Hasan said, I think that he's dumb. I don't think this, I don't think this guy's dumb. I think he's just lying. Hasan said, you're Orientalizing the person. And then this guy says, if you don't like the leader of Hezbollah, you're racist. I mean, holy shit. Starting this YouTube channel, I didn't think I'd have to break down basic human interactions to this degree. Hasan is saying that you are surprised that this like brown guy is saying something so intelligent. That's not the same thing as saying if you dislike this brown person, you're racist. There are reasons to dislike the brown person. Hasan is just pointing out kind of the bigotry of low expectations, right? If you see a guy that you think is from a third world country and he says something intelligent, you'd be like, wow, I can't believe you actually said something like that. It'd be like, oh, you did math. Great job. That is amazing. Here's a quarter. Go spend it and make your family rich for the rest of their lives. Like, that's kind of the vibe that Hasan is criticizing here. And this guy's saying, oh, well, if you don't like the leader of Hezbollah, you're racist. That's what Hasan said. Insane. And like, this is why this shit is killing me.
It's not a broken clock situation. No, dude. Half of these dudes literally get educated in America and in the UK. What the f are you guys talking about? This is why it's Orientalist to literally look at these dudes and go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons, and like sometimes they get this right. No, dude, he knows. It's crazy. He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
I can't even imagine the books. He's like 5 Barnes and Nobles. His son is an
Bro, every time this guy opens his mouth, he makes me want to, I'm not gonna say it, but I mean, he makes me want to stop watching this video. That's for sure.
Educating people on other opinions, he's radicalizing them. When asked by a viewer if Hasan would denounce terrorism just to get people off of his back, Hasan couldn't do it.
Just denounce terrorists? I do. Your voice speaks loud. Do with that what you will. I denounce terrorists every day. I denounce the terror state of Israel every day. I denounce America's actions that are state-sponsored terror every day.
So how have we gotten to this point? How has Hasan been allowed to do this?
Okay, I'm done. Oh my god, that was, bro. So I started this. I mean, I started covering some more conservative people like Brett Cooper, and that was bad. I mean, literally the thumbnails fucking kill me. I covered Shoe on Head also. That was bad. Talked to a Trump supporter. That was actually kind of cathartic because the Trump supporter I talked to was open to learning new ideas, and it really let me know just how much of an information vacuum there is for conservatives and Trump supporters. But man, I mean, from people that are ostensibly on the left, like Ethan Klein, I mean, Asmongold's not on the left, but like that guy, Willy Mac, who, I mean, in every other context, you'd be like, okay, this guy's he's a YouTuber that covers other YouTuber drama. You would imagine that he's like a lib, or at least a lib, maybe even on the left. But no, he's engaging in the exact same kind of like a bad faith criticism that Brett Cooper does, where she'll just completely lie. She'll present a clip or a comment and present that as the truth and have the comment lie about it, or present the clip or comment and then lie about what that is. And that's exactly what this guy Willie Mack was doing. So that was a brutal video to get through, and I'm done for the day. Let me know if you want to see part 2 to this reaction of the Willie Mack video. If there's enough people, maybe I'll do it, but that was toxic as hell. And I mean, it's brutal to get through the right-wingers, but it's a little bit more rewarding than getting through this like never-ending cycle of refuting clip after clip after clip, and it's the same fucking like 12 clips of Hasan over and over and over again, and I just am saying the same things again and again because like, there's nothing there. I don't know. I can't refute it in any type of different ways than I have. I guess I'm coming up with like a few different things on like the 4th time I'm covering it, but holy shit, it's so bad. Anyway, guys, I hope this was cathartic for you. I hope my suffering gave you some enjoyment. My fucking head hurts. I need to go to bed. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.